Congratulations to the class of 2021. I want to commend all students graduating this year on their entire career in District 155. This past year stands out among the rest. It has brought unique challenges to our students, staff, and community. It has also taught us a valuable lesson on how to keep each other safe and how much quality education means to our students and families. I would like to thank all of our seniors for your hard work and perseverance throughout this year. You should be very proud of all you've been able to accomplish. I want to thank all of our District 155 parents for your patience, support, as we have worked to overcome obstacles during this global pandemic. Our work is not done. We are excited to look back at the graduates' accomplishments and celebrate together. The class of 2021 will always be remembered for the resilience and your ability to succeed in the face of adversity. We hope you will take those skills in your next chapter of your life. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Looks like they're all in place. Good afternoon and welcome to our 2021 commencement ceremony. I am Dr. Neil Lisinski, the extremely proud principal of Cary-Grove High School. And today we have the special honor of recognizing a Trojan that never ceases to inspire those around her. She is recognizable to many of our students because she is always moving about the building and serving various roles and fulfilling various responsibilities. As her principal, I have been incredibly proud of her growth and progress and can say that she always puts a smile on my face. Please join me in a round of applause for 2021 graduate Emma Wenrich. First and foremost, I want to welcome all of our guests today. Parents, grandparents, siblings, and other family members, we are pleased to have you here at Cary-Grove High School for our 2021 commencement ceremony. At this time, I would also like to introduce the distinguished individuals seated near the podium today. From our Board of Education, Cary resident and board member, Mr. Tom Vaklavek. And from our district office, we welcome our district superintendent, Mr. Steve Olson. Steve is currently finishing a book entitled Worst Year Ever to Be a Superintendent. And finally, I want to welcome our graduating seniors representing the class of 2021. Just want to make sure you're all here, Zoomers and Roomers. To kick things off, I have the privilege of introducing Kaylee Krieges to deliver the Pledge of Allegiance. Kaylee is the daughter of Amy and Jason and from Fox River Grove, Illinois. During her 4 years at CG, she was involved in NHS, CG Buddies, Connect Crew, Swing Choir, Palms, Musical, Jazz Choir, and the Fall Play. Outside of school, Kaylee volunteers at her church by being a leader in the Vacation Bible School program. She would like to thank Mrs. Garris for always finding new and interesting ways to teach and make learning apply outside of the classroom. She has sparked Kaylee's interest in psychology and her desire to become a teacher. Kaylee also wants to thank Mr. B for teaching her so many lessons in the past 4 years, not only in music, but in life and teaching. In the fall, Kaylee will be attending the University of Iowa and double majoring in biology and secondary education with hopes to become a high school science teacher while coaching dance. Please help me welcome Kaylee Krieges.
Please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
We aren't quite done with Kaylee yet. Every year, the Cary-Grove staff recognizes a student with our Faculty Award. This is someone teachers feel most embodies the spirit of Cary-Grove. At Cary-Grove, we model and instill and recognize in our students our 6 pillars: self-advocacy, perseverance, integrity, engagement, responsibility, and citizenship. Collectively, we feel these traits can help define character and define what we feel best embodies the Cary-Grove spirit. This year, because of her incredible efforts and involvement over her 4 years and the positive impact that she has had on our students and staff, the recipient of the Cary-Grove Faculty Award is Kaylee Krieges.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Well done.
Thank you.
Why don't you come right here.
Congratulations,
Take your mask
Kaylee.
off. Thank you to Kaylee and congratulations. We now welcome our Cary-Grove Band, led by director Marty Magnini, for a performance of American Fanfare by Rick Kirby. I now ask Erin Palmero to join me at the podium. Erin is the daughter of Irene and Bobby Palmero of Cary. In her 4 years as a Trojan, Erin has served as captain of the speech team, vice president of NHS, and vice president of student council. She has also been in Connect Crew, Spark Club, Tech Crew, Math Team, and served as a member of Poetry Writers Club. Additionally, she was a teacher's assistant for Mr. Sutherland and Mr. Otto. Outside of school, Erin is involved in CAP Youth Program and Summit Bible Study at Saints Peter and Paul. She would like to thank her teacher, Mr. Neff, for showing her an outlet with poetry, and Mrs. Esquivel for empowering her. In the fall, Erin plans to attend Northwestern University to study marketing and communications. Please help me welcome Erin Palmero to the podium. Take your mask off if you'd like to.
Well, we made it, guys. To the parents, you made it too. Let's give a clap to the parents. Like we survived adolescence, they survived our teenage outbursts, slam doors, and crying. Lots of crying. My job as a speaker is to make you cry even more, so hopefully I can deliver. To formally introduce myself, my name is Erin Palmero, captain of this, vice president of that, but most importantly, I am a daughter of the best parents out there. Mom and Dad, thank you for raising me to study 3 hours a day minimum, making me read the dictionary when I was like 7, and making God a known presence in my life. Thank you for raising me to be a proud Filipino. Of all of my accomplishments in high school, making you proud is my first. Now, high school is full of firsts, and here are some of ours. High school was the first time we drove, and that was dangerous. You would know Mr. Garris. We had credit cards, and for me, that was probably more dangerous. We applied to college for the first time. We experienced our first existential crises. Personal shout out to Mr. Hester. We conducted our first chemistry labs. Shout out to Mr. Wagner and Mrs. Esquivel. I personally experienced my first heartbreak. No shout out needed there. But I did experience my first love. Shout out to Justin. I wrote my first poem in high school, and you might not know this about me, but poetry saved my life. So big shout out to Mr. Neff. And now we are about to graduate for the first time. Shout out to Google and the real ones in the group chat. And to think, we wished all of this time away. But now we have to stand here and face the fact that we'll never get to run into that entrance late to our first period again. We'll never get to hold in our laughter with our friends in class again. Never get to show up at the school at 6 a.m. for a speech tournament again. That one we won't miss too much. We wished all of this away. These mundane moments are so much more precious than what they seem like. Truth is, this gathering of people will never be all together ever again. And how ironic is it that we wished for time to speed up and our wishes came true? We grew up. But I don't think you're ever too old to make a wish. So I want us all to make a wish right now. Close your eyes and make one precious wish. And with that wish in your back pocket, let's be present in the moment. The human condition calls for two things. You can endure or you can enjoy. Let's choose to enjoy our last moments as Trojans. You know, we can look at the pictures when we get home. We can think of Instagram captions later. Right now, let's promise each other to stop wishing time away. Because one day, we're going to blink and we'll be holding on to dear life, teaching our kids how to drive. So don't let life pass you by. And don't you dare say that you only live once, because you actually live every single day if you try. Thank you for everything, Cary-Grove. I'm rooting for all of you. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Aaron. I now have the honor of welcoming to the podium District 155 Education Board Member, Mr. Tom Vaklavec.
So I was told I could only have maybe 5 minutes, and as an attorney, that usually means I get 30, but I promise to keep it short. Thank you, Neil. It is an honor to be invited to Cary-Grove's 2021 graduation ceremony. Kurt Vonnegut, who just happens to be my favorite writer, once wrote, "All this happened, more or less." I think that is the perfect way to summarize your senior year. Don't you agree? I want to say first, congratulations to the class of 21. You survived perhaps the hardest senior year in all of our collective lifetimes, and you made it to the finish line. Be proud of all that you have accomplished. You will have a unique story to tell throughout your lifetimes. You survived remote learning, hybrid learning, constant changing schedules, and endless Zoom meetings just to attend class. You socially distanced, you kept 6 feet apart, and you even wore masks. Well, at least most of the time, right? Some of you have lost loved ones, cared for sick family members, or known friends that have suffered during this pandemic. And yet you all endured. No one your age should have to deal with everything your class has, but you did it and you got through it. And that is something to be proud of. While you could have quit, or you could have cried, or complained, you didn't. And you responded in a way that may have surprised you, but I can assure you did not surprise your teachers or your families. Sometimes the worst things in life that happen turn out to be the best thing when you overcome adversity like your class has. And while it stinks that you couldn't go to football games or the amazing musicals that CG always has, or hear fantastic voices singing, or even going to funny comedy skits in person, you all figured out a way to have the best, or at least make the best of your senior year. And for all of that, be proud. Take this time to celebrate your accomplishments. Remember the good times, your friends, and all the fun you had, even in the middle of this pandemic. And things are getting better. We are getting closer and closer to being through this. And someday, hopefully soon, this too will be in the rearview mirror. Who could have imagined, even 6 months ago, that we would all be sitting here and you would be graduating with your peers and family members watching on? I certainly wasn't so sure of that. Now that you are done, get out there and make your mark. Find something you love. and work your tail off to become the best you can be at whatever that might be. Don't be afraid to try new things. If you've learned anything from this pandemic, it is that your class is strong and you can do anything you set your mind to. So experiment, mix things up. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but learn from those mistakes. Try something that scares the crap out of you and live and be alive. Don't be afraid to ask questions, but more importantly, listen to the answers you get when you do. Always strive to learn, to get out there, and to explore. Create and pursue every ambition and every dream. Believe in yourself, no matter what happens or what someone else might say or think. No one defines you but you. Laugh out loud, smile as much as you can, even if no one can see it behind your mask. Your class has had enough tears and sadness to last a lifetime, so be sure to enjoy everything going forward. We are counting on all of you to not just go back to how things were before the pandemic, but to change things for the better. The world has changed, and you and your classmates are poised to make it a better, kinder, and more responsible place, even if you have to drag us boomers with you kicking and screaming. Remember, things are just things, and in the end, things don't matter. Be honest, be loyal, especially to your friends and your family and your community. Stand up for what is right, and be sure to vote. Most importantly, be kind to each other, because in the end, you will be remembered more for your kindness than for your accomplishments. Now, I have two requests. First, hug your parents and tell them thank you and that you love them. You didn't get here alone, and they were right there and are right there for you whenever you need them. And while you're at it, thank a teacher. Take out a piece of paper and write a handwritten note to one teacher that made a difference in your life. I promise you, they will appreciate it more than anything in the whole wide world. Second, make a promise to yourself that nothing will stop you. Nothing will keep you from reaching your goals. You beat COVID and you have reached the finish. Nothing is impossible if you remember that promise to yourself. Congratulations, you earned it. Now go wash your hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and well said. At this moment, would the graduating members of the a cappella choir please join the rest of the a cappella choir under the direction of Mr. Rob Bonkoski and Mrs. Christine Hester. They will be performing The Kid Inside from Is There a Life After High School?
There's a kid inside, and I have her with me always. There's a kid inside, walking down old high school hallways.
There's a kid inside, at a desk, at a dance, in the halls, in the showers.
There's a kid inside to this very day.
He makes a try for that high flight that I fumbled one September.
It's a fuss, something fuss that I shouldn't still remember.
As she goes along, getting hurt, getting mad, fighting fights that are over. And unless I'm strong, all my senses are carried away.
I can feel John's hand
A trembling hand
on my old
At this time, I want to recognize a particular group of Trojans, a group that has made the selfless choice to serve all of us. Would all graduates wearing red, white, and blue cords today please stand as you will be joining the armed forces following graduation. Please join me in recognizing and thanking these young men and women in advance for serving our country and preserving our freedoms. Thank you. Class of 2021, the last 4 years have gone by incredibly fast. Faster than Jenna Stayart sprinting down the soccer field, faster than a spike from Jenna Split, quicker than Kate Larry on defense or Lauren Pisalia jumping for a rebound. It has passed like a melody sung by Kaylee Kriegis or Madeline Coles. I know what a blur these past 4 years have been because we all arrived here as freshmen at Cary-Grove together. My first year as principal was your first year as well, and because of that, your class will always hold a special place in my heart. I can still remember 4 years ago receiving my first ever Cary-Grove t-shirt that said Class of 2021 on the front and thinking to myself, man, that's a long way from now. Well, that day is here. And we as a school community couldn't be happier or more proud of the people that you've grown to be over the past 4 years. But like a portrait or a painting done by Jay Miller, I wish I could freeze time and continue to enjoy making memories with the class of 2021. It isn't realistic, but because of what the last year has looked like, I want more memories, and I'm sure your parents do too. More fist bumps from Danny Berzina, more fastballs from Bobby Janish and Ryan Weaver, and even a little more mullet from Nate Jablonski. Insert any name from the class of 2021, and I have a fond memory associated with you. I think we can all agree that you have endured a lot. You lost out on many experiences that generations of high school students were able to enjoy. Additionally, so much has changed in your lives since last March. From remote learning and block scheduling to canceled events and modified experiences, you all have been through a lot together. But if there's anything the past year has taught us, it's the value of relationships, human connection, and community. Many of the people who are here to support you today are the same ones that spent days with you in quarantine, the ones you gathered around the table with to play old board games, the ones that stayed up late with you binge watching Tiger King on Netflix, and the ones that shot hoops in the driveway, played catch in the backyard, listened to you rehearse songs in the basement, and forced you to clean out the storage room or the garage just to give you something to do other than sit on TikTok all day. Additionally, these people sitting here today will tell you that it wasn't that long ago that they were changing your diapers, packing your lunches, and sending you out the door to hop on the bus for your first day of school. These relationships are what carried you through and brought you here today, and I hope you never forget the power of that connection, the power of love, and the strength of community that helped you endure. But the class of 2021 has given us so much to be proud of, so many memories to be thankful for. With over 25% of our graduates earning cum laude honors, you set records for community service despite all limitations. When tragic events occurred in our world, you engaged, you mobilized, you came together. You proved that Cary-Grove is far more than just a building where students learn. The class of 21 proved that Cary-Grove is a community, one that loves more, cares deeper, and goes farther for each other than anywhere else. Trojans, you have experienced a world extremely different from the one that you anticipated, but it is a world that desperately needs you. We are all optimistic. We are optimistic because we know you, we've seen you in action, and we will always be here to support you. Stay CG. Congratulations, class of 21. Thank you. And as always, go Trojans! And now, without further delay, the moment that we've been waiting for, Will the class of 2021 please rise? Members of our Board of Education, I hereby attest that all of the students before you today have met all the requirements of Community High School District 155 and are highly recommended for graduation from Cary-Grove Community High School. At this time, please help me welcome our Dean of Students, Mr. Jim Kelly, and our Student Services Coordinator, Dr. Hank Harvey, to read the names of the graduates. As a reminder, we pride ourselves on having a respectful ceremony, especially with the reading of graduate names. As such, I respectfully ask all to refrain from clapping, shouting out, or using any noisemakers until all of the graduates have been recognized. Mr. Kelly and Dr. Harvey, it's all yours.
Alexander E. Anderson. Lillian Louise Badowski. Caitlin Jane Barcy. Sanders Lee Barrett. Eric Tyler Baumgart. Jacob Donald Beeman. Nicholas R. Belgrave. Anthony Alexander Bless. Delaney R. Blome. Emerson Andrew Brashear. Daniel Joseph Brazina. Daniel H. Brubacher. Jonna J. Bittner. Brandon Roy Burns. Allison Jane Beitendorp. Carissa Campo. Gia Celeste Capitano. Aziri Carranza. Kate Elizabeth Chan. Tessa Chen. Hayden Scott Clark. Madeline Elizabeth Coles. Mackenzie Collins. Cora Lynn Cook. Cameron James Copas. Grace E. Kostler. Declan Frederick Emerson Costello. Robert Anthony Cruz. Alec James Curtis. Summer Curtis. Cody F. Delatorre. Ryan Michael Dreves. Madeline Edwards. Katrina Rose Esculson. Jacob A. Felix. Jake Charles Fisher. Kelly Ann Fletcher. Jenna Nicole Foltz. Leslie Susan Forneck. John David Galliano Jr. Megan Gahan. Nathan Gomez. Rocio A. Garcia. Isabella Giannoni. Cheyenne Chandler Gonzalez. Brett Philip Green. Madison Michelle Greenwald. Mary Lael Greenwald. Sarah Greenwald. Eric Wilson Greenwood. Nicholas Basso Garentz. Celeste Rose Hansen. Benjamin Harding. Joshua S. Heidenreich. Bridget Mary Heinhold. Carson Andrew Hendry. Aiden J. Henniger. Olivia Grace Hilpert. Erin Lucille Hurt. Paige Elizabeth Hoshite. Christina Huang. Robert James Hubka. Zoe Rachel Humphrey. Hannah Grace Hurley. Jessica Challen Hyde. Nathan Eric Jablonski. Robert Eric Janish. Sarah Adelaide Jaquay Bulava. Alexa Rose Jonas. Kennedy Irene Jones. Vincent Klepacki. Ashley Morgan Canise. Kaylee Elena Kriegas. Olivia Campbell Krupp. Jack Henry Kwiatkowski.
Bianca Christina LaFin. Anthony John Lamantia. Alexandra Sophia Lanera. Kate Helen Larry. Samuel Earl Larson. Jamie Elizabeth Lazaro. Jonathan Chan-Woo Lee. Alexandra D. Litkin. Jacob Asai Lizardo. Elliot Patrick Logan. Janelle Lynn. Michaela Rose Mann. Margaret Colleen Mason. Molly Grace McDillon. Kyle McGee. Anna Vitalia Meehan. Haley A. Miservi. Elizabeth Ann Miller. J. E. Miller. Gregory Paul Eric Mistak. Kelly M. Miuskovich. Lily A. Monroy. McKenna Page Morris. Donovan Lee Mosak. Chloe Mueller. Christopher Morosky. Henry James Myers. Victoria Elizabeth Nakian. Lindsay Claire Nordberg. Isabel Ann Nordquist. Patrick Norris. Jennifer Kim Nunez. McKelvey Lorraine Ockeltree. Nolan Thomas O'Connell. Jackson William Onstadt. Jasmine T. Osborne. Aaron Palmero. Tegan Rose Pennington. Tegan Rebecca Peroni. Jack L. Perry. Devin Maxim Peters. Ryan Christopher Peters. Brandon Robert Poe. Daniel Colin Purcell. Jillian I. Randolph. Phoebe A. Reineking. Christopher Michael Roberts. Patrick C. Rosen. Noah M. Schiestel. Paige K. Schiestel. Abigail Paige Schmidt. Justin Daniel Shepke. Fernanda Sillis. Quentin Andres Skelly. Fallon Christina Sloboda. Hayden Jacob Snyder. Chloe Adelaide Sorensen. Jenna Faith Stayart. Haley McKenna Stephen. Mallory Elise Stegman. Jacob Tyler Thielen. Catherine Thompson. Jose Torres Quiraz. Michaela Marie Travers. Sophia Rose Tronalone. Catherine Signey Churts. Grace Charlotte Toohey. Audrey June Turner. Cameron Douglas Unch. Dylan Joseph Vidadich. David Nathaniel Villarreal. Nolan James Vincent. Joseph Georges Vitulo. Alexis Rose Wagman. Zachary James Warnstedt. Maggie Elizabeth Werner. Samantha May White. Emma Grace Willie. Abigail Elizabeth Williams. Olivia Michelle Willis. John Ronald Wittenberg. Cole Elijah Wolfram. Madison Elise Robleski. Faith Ariana Young.
Trojans, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, members of our Board of Education in District 155, I present to you the Cary-Grove High School graduating class of 2021. Go Trojans! Mr. Magnini, the recessional, please.